This entire team has been lifted tonight by Odell Beckham. This is sick. Put this to music.
It's the one. First day of the trade window open. So illegal tampering was done.
Illegal tampering was done. All right, here we are. Off-season Rad League podcast, March edition, March 15th, Friday the 15th. You know, illegal tampering window just opened, as you mentioned, Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, co-hosting here.
Yep.
Legal tampering just opened. We did have a Rad League trade. We have NFL legal tampering plus NFL free agency. So we've had some potential keeper players or first round players get moved. We've got the trade to talk about today. We've got a draft coming up of everyone's potential keepers. How do you think free agency has gone so far, just in general with fantasy football?
It's the opposite of last year and like any year where free agent running backs all went to like dream spots that you'd put them in on Madden. Like Barkley's an Eagle, Henry's a Raven, Jacobs is a Packer, even like Zoc Mass is a Bengal.
Yeah, it's been good this year.
Nixon's a Texan. Like it's just one of like every running back that went somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
in previous years, it's more so been the receivers. Like last year was more receivers that were free agents, or
yeah, and they usually go like decent spots or get money, but it's just weird.
Yeah.
I never like all these stud running backs land in like such fantasy friendly spots. It's been bizarre. FIO gets the sexiest Barkley we've seen since 2018.
Yeah. So was he the actual only keeper in the Rad League to be a free agent and change teams, or have like been traded
Jason
at this point in time?
Jason
Right. Jacobs going to the Pack, but Mike gets Barkley on the Eagles. Obviously the best team he's been on in his time in the NFL. And
who would you take in terms of just like drip? Because I feel like Cume's always got Jefferson and Brees.
Yeah.
Drip. But now FL's rocking like Bengals Chase and Eagles Barkley. In terms of just like cool pictures of players.
I mean, I'd rather have that duo this year for sure.
Oh yeah,
just because Cousins is gone from Jefferson, but like Barkley and Brees these next 2 years, I would rank them pretty similar.
Yeah.
If I was sitting there 1 year, I might honestly take Barkley. I hate to say it.
Better. He's faster.
Barkley's
so
just I'm
on Jets Twitter, and I bet you Zach is no too. It's dire.
Yeah.
Dire scene.
Well, the Jets have signed some offensive linemen. Who knows if we don't know if they're good yet or not. They've just been like random blokes. Yeah.
It's gonna be an ACL thing, and it's gonna be the same stuff.
Rodgers hasn't. We haven't heard anything from him. We haven't. We haven't had a health update or anything like that.
Rodgers is Mike Williams. They don't exist. They're not real players.
Like Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles too, but like we physically have seen him in the media. He signed his deal with the Falcons. He's like at their headquarters. We haven't seen Aaron Rodgers like.
You saw him in the preseason.
We haven't seen him do anything
in these uniforms that they don't wear anymore. He threw like 3 passes. It's not real. None of it's real. Anyways, but yeah, and then the trade Inferno is just sick in the head. Like first day you can trade, you're already set up with like CMC Brown. You could easily go to Cabo.
Yeah. So to recap this, GSOP, greatest show on paper, traded Jalen Hurts, their keeper, sent him along with a 3rd rounder and the 6th rounder to get a 1st round pick from Inferno and also a couple later picks, 8 and 13.
We're at 13. Make that a 12. You can make that a 12.
Yeah, like even the third was good, but then you even get a 6th round pick for a 13th. It's just like
Well, I
I don't
think about
know.
this trade more. It's actually, if we're figuring out like Inferno's strategy, it's actually pretty consistent. It's March. There's a team who's queued up to keep a quarterback. They're low key panicked about it because like fuck, I can't just keep a
Keep a
quarterback.
quarterback.
That's what happened to me. And then I'm saying this
Yeah,
rapid game. Next thing you know, oh, I can keep Barkley and then get Garrett. Okay, that's I have Barkley now. And it's the same thing. I think Inferno's like, fuck, I don't want to, or not Inferno, G-Sop's like, I don't want to keep a quarterback. I feel like I'm
yeah.
at a disadvantage to start. And
So he
last
has
year,
two first
Bijan was in the
rounders.
draft, and I was like, oh yeah, I still got a shot at Bijan in this trade. Now he's got 20% at Marvin, and Inferno just spun it where a quarterback means more to Inferno to add on and make like the super team compared to a quarterback being a keeper.
Yeah.
And Inferno
Last
now,
year he traded his 1st rounder to get Josh Allen basically
yeah.
and Diggs. So yeah, Rocco is now traded away as keeper, but he has 2 1st rounders plus Bijan is his other keeper. Last year you traded away your QB and then you had Barkley, but you only had 1 first. Where did the other one go? Was that to get
I
Barkley?
know I had a first. Yeah, I had a first. I got
Yeah,
a
but
first.
I'm saying Rocco trade away a QB keeper
Yeah.
and now has 2 1st rounders plus his other keeper. Last year
Well,
you
his
trade
other
away.
first rounder was me getting Barkley. I don't know. This is bad podcasting. It was the best. I'm not doing anything this year. Rocco
Yeah.
is gonna feel he's gonna get hit. We're all gonna be at the Niagara Falls, Jeffrey World, Nashville, wherever we are.
Hmm.
And Rocco's gonna have some studs, and there's gonna be like a gap in his flex or his quarterback or tight end from not having a third.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it, be like, oh, it's a little, but
But if he gets 2 top 5 picks and he gets, his new wide receiver keeper and then his 1st round pick that's top 5,
he's rocking
that's
Marvin
that's
Harris,
pretty good for Jalen Hurts.
John
Yeah.
as a duo, and then like a redraft stud running back or something, then
Yeah.
it,
I
you
actually
know,
like it too for Inferno for Jacob because like it is such a cheat code having CMC that like you don't need a top 2 pick. You don't need, the best running back available. You don't need RB1. Just knowing that, like, and then he's got the stack now with the Eagles, Frown and AJ Brown, and Jalen Hurts. But like that's kind of how he felt last year. Like he was so good at all the one positions. Like he had a top 2 or 3 guy at each position, and then his flex was always whatever. But so I do really like it from his perspective this year as well. I would have liked to see him draft in the 1st round, just see what it's like, see
I don't.
what kind of a drafter is he? Like I don't know. All last year he had was like a 3rd rounder, and
But he
but
might. I think Hull Inferno. It's never over though. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's like now
yeah,
he has Hurts as an asset. He has all these picks, and then he could be like, "Oh, I'm back in the first. I traded 3 and 5 and 7 and 8," and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
mhm,
And then he just keeps stacking. He's the most active of any guy you'll see. And he puts people through blenders. And I think GSOP was quoted at the end of the year saying, "Don't trade with this fucking guy." And then the
yeah,
first trade window, I tried to get
yeah.
Gabe Davis from GSOP for like 3 weeks. Couldn't do that. First day of trade window, Inferno somehow pulls Hurts, but I do get it from
Was there
those.
any thought of investigating this for tampering
I thought
before the
thought
trade
about
window
how this must have
opened?
been discussed before the window.
Yeah, because it's a big thing to happen in 2 days or one. No,
But
first day. Was it
happened
the
the first
first
day.
day?
Here's the thing: if we would have investigated that for tampering, then we'd be in jail, me and you, Spence. So I didn't want
Yeah,
that. Didn't want that.
we're working on a deal a little bit.
No, we're not. But I think we're both after Jason now. So I got some intel that you're also like in the big trunky running back. That's gonna fucking poof some touchdowns.
The thing is, he's not going to trade a 1st round pick for one of his running backs because they're both like would be like at the top of the 1st round. So like it's not worth it.
Yeah. But
Um, yeah. Anyways, we are going to be drafting today. keeper mock draft. So out of all 20 keepers in the Rad League, we are going to be drafting them back and forth, fill out your team. Obviously, we're not really building a Rad League roster, 3 flex, but don't just take 6 receivers. You make sure you sprinkle in a little running back here and there. What do you want to do? Do you want to be going first, or do you like the second pick?
Tell me.
You're going to go first.
Okay.
I don't want to go first. So this is, you are drafting these guys as though you are a Rad League team and you need a keeper, but we're also Rad League. We're about to start a draft and you're trying to win a title this year. So it's same thinking of this season plus, who do you want? Like the first guy overall is going to be like who you want for this year, anchor your team moving forward still.
I had somebody before this.
Would I just change your mind with that spiel?
Well, it's hard in this draft because I know after the next pick I'm going to get a stud anyway. So
yeah,
I'm
going to keep track of my team here. With the 101, who do you select? Rad League keeper mock draft.
Still got to take CMC and go for a title. And that wasn't my choice going into this, but
Well, were you going to take your boy, JT?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you pick next, and then maybe I can get my guy next. But I don't know. If you can get CMC, you can win a title this year. I'll admit it. He's pretty fucked up. Scores every game. Yeah, it wasn't my plan going in, but I'll see what you do it too, and then see if I can still get my guy next.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, this is actually tough now that you're on the clock. See, I know if I do the pick one thing, you're going to pick this other one. So I'm just going to, I am going to take, wow, there's 3 players I have in mind, and I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Okay.
God, I think he's the best receiver to own right now in fantasy for this year. And I thought you were going to take CD number 1, to be honest.
No, my number 1 was Ja'Marr Chase still.
Okay, so that was the other receiver I was going back and forth.
Working out great for me. Going in, I was like, I'm going to take Chase 1. I still think he's tied to his best friend, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And that's still the trump card over everything. I think with the quarterback market, like, it's so hard. I bet you Dak. The media loves to say like they're going to move off from Dak. He's not good. As long as he's serviceable, they'll probably keep rocking him and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I just like the next year. I think Chase and Lamb are both going to have interchangeable games, but you're getting a similar guy, but one guy's got Joe Burrow tied to him.
Yeah.
Ford versus Dak. So that's my deciding factor, and I'm fired up to get Chase back on tank, at least in this pretend world. Yeah.
Okay.
So
good pick. God, there was a lot of goddamn players that
I don't know how to like redraft people purely do it.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking of too? Like whenever, for the most part, I feel like rankings, not just consensus rankings, but like you see like Yahoo, ESPN, or like Underdog, the top 10, 12, like it's usually all relatively the same. It's like, it's these 2 running backs, these 3 receivers, and then you got Kelsey, and then there's this tier, and it's like always so consistent. But I'm like, if I was just picking any of these guys, like you could tell me so many names right now, I'd be like, yep. Wow, with this next pick, I'm going to take Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that was next for me. How can you
So Andy, CMC, Chase, me, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill.
All the 3 receivers that were in the build.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my pill now. I'm taking JT here.
All right.
To wash that down. I do think that I think a big year's coming up, dude. I do. 25.
Yeah,
He's gonna be healthy. He had
that's
a
a good
year.
pick.
Doesn't have any.
I'm writing down like, CMC, Andy, C Lamb, Spencer beside Hill. I just wrote Jab.
That's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, JT. I
Andy,
think
you've got two running backs now and a receiver. I have two receivers. Um, okay. With my first pick here, I'm going to take Bijan Robinson.
there you go.
So the top three running backs, CMC, followed
Yep.
by Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson.
Good pick. New offense. He should be a stud. I think we're
Mhm.
also it's hard even as a Falcon fan, I'm like mentally we got so used to literally just like running sideways all the time and throwing to tight ends that it's hard to visualize just like hut and like a normal fucking football play,
Yeah.
like a play action down the field for 20 yards, like never happened.
Mhm.
Normal ass run. Bijan probably gets more
Our
run.
boxes probably are way less stacked, like the defensive ones, I mean.
Yeah. And it's now just more red zone. Like he wasn't scoring touchdowns before.
Yeah, like 7 touchdowns or something last year.
Actual, you're at the three and Bijan runs it in. Although Algier is a bit of a fucking dog. But
Yeah.
yeah, Bijan's a stud, and if we're still keeping in redraft, I think we still to or keep dynasty in this draft. Even though I have Chase and all this, we're still incorporating the players' dynasty value in the picks. It's
Yeah.
not, I wouldn't
Like
take
theoretically in this draft, Bijan would be my running back keeper. You know what I mean? And CD would be my receiver keeper, and then Tyreek Hill is just like my
Yeah.
first rounder this year, so to speak.
So yeah, I'm keeping everyone's value still intact. So even though I
Yep.
have a keeper, I'm still going to value that in terms of where they would rank for me.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take Jefferson here. I'll take Jefferson here. And I know he is Garrett Wilson, same player.
Yeah.
There's enough offseason left to see if they get a Drake May, and if not, they're going to be down in games. They're going to be in a fucking dome. And I remember Sam Darnold was out of Hooters one time years ago watching the Jets on Thursday Night Football, and Sam Darnold was ripping it to Robbie Anderson. Guy put up like 100 something in a tug. So
You're talking about Robbie Anderson here, and like
I'm just
I get it. You're taking Jefferson because he is for the next 6 years. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. There's just no way I would take him this year. Going into like we're still in this season. Like I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs right now. Like there's no way.
I thought that would come back to me.
No. I'm taking Gibbs next year, having him or like long term compared to Jefferson. Even like what's okay? You're talking about Sam Darnold being good for Robbie Anderson. Like beyond this year, okay, what Sam Darnold's his QB again next year? That's still not good. That's still like there's nothing that's showing that he's going to go back right now to what he was with Kirk. Obviously, it's not really his fault that he got knocked down, but yeah, for fantasy, I wouldn't have him up there just yet. Gibbs, dude, I almost took Gibbs where like super high up. Like he's in every pick. I've been like Gibbs or this guy.
He's insane.
Yeah. Okay. So Andy, you've had 4 picks. You've got CMC and Taylor as your running backs, plus Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. So that is pretty solid. My running backs are Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 new guys, and the receivers CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill.
He's sick. Gibbs
2 so far.
Thought I could. You're a little Monty guy. Thought maybe I can get Gibbs here. Can't. I'm going based on my order.
Did you order them beforehand, by the way?
Yeah, I got a little bored here.
Oh, I just wrote them all down based on how I can remember them. So I'm scrolling up and down just off the rip.
I got an order here. I'll go Barkley. Wait. Ooh.
You can't. I don't think you can take it back.
I missed the name. Though. I missed the name. Missed the name. Fuck it. I'll still go Barkley. I don't care. I did miss a name that was higher than him, but if I can't go, you're saying I can't go back?
You can't go back.
All right. Well, it's a bit of a flub, but I can live with it. I'm gonna go Saquon.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take who you probably were gonna say. I'm gonna take Brees Hall.
There you go. Yeah, took my flub. So that's all right.
Brees.
Jets.
Buddy,
Well,
you're the one who said you wrote him down too.
No, and I missed it, but that's okay because it works better with my next pairing. New York Tink coming back. I'll take Garrett here. That's where I'm
You're
going.
shitting me. You're actually shitting me.
That's where I go. Garrett Wilson.
You're taking Garrett over some of these players on the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Jets didn't bring in, unless they bring in Romo Dunze at 9. Their wide receiver 2 is just going to help out, get him open. And he's Justin Jefferson. So let's hope Raj can throw it. If not,
Still 40-man Raj on the Jets. Like, there's other good. This is for context. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players drafted. Half the keepers in the Rad League. For those of you in the Rad League watching, I'm sure you can think of the other keepers available right now alongside Garrett Wilson.
Listen, I'm still running an organization here. I'm going to come onto a podcast and support my fellas. You know what I mean?
11th overall pick, keeper draft, Garrett Wilson. Okay, I've got a couple names to think of here. I'm really just between 2 names. I'm going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, he was next for me. But we can go double EMG. I got Kyron next.
Okay.
So EMG falls right in that range. Any other person
This is
on here, I don't think Garrett goes above Amon and Kyron. So we can all
okay.
on that. But yeah, I'll take Kyron next.
I'm taking AJ Brown.
That was next for me.
AJ Brown. I almost took him where I took Ammon. I didn't know what to do there. Okay, let me just cross these guys off. I got Brown.
Are you upset that it seems like Brown's a little off the table? Because I know you've been in the
What
bushes.
team is he on? He's on Inferno. Has Inferno ever stayed loyal to a single goddamn guy? Like,
CMC.
all right.
Frown's gone. It looks pretty clear to me with who's left, unless I've missed somebody in my writing down. But I'm going to go ETN.
Good pick. And this is pretty easy for me. I'm going to go Achan.
Forgot to
What?
I forgot to write him down when I'm being a dick.
This is what I'm talking about value, where you took Garrett. The players, we're doing this would be a snake draft, I guess, back and forth. Where you took Garrett, I've since taken 3 players: Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, Devon Achan. Like, I would take all those players over Garrett right now.
Achan's not real to me until I see it for a full year. Until then, he's
he's put up more points than Garrett ever has, and he played like 8 games last year.
He's giant but tiny. He's lowercase J and J until I see it for a year. He's fast. He's a fun little guy.
Yeah.
See him hold up. I don't know. I have this false sense because I'm talking shit all the time about like running backs that get hurt. Meanwhile, JT gets hurt every fucking play. But because he looks big in my brain, I'm like, he
takes a lot of contact. Like Achan, he's not taking contact that often. Like, their hope it's okay when he does. But like Taylor's one of those.
Mostert's gonna be 31, 30. He's gonna cruck. No, he's done. He'll get some
at some point, or just stop running so fast. Like, you get older, you're not gonna run as quick.
Yeah. So I think there's 3 guys.
There's 4 guys left.
I only have 3. So where did I mess up? Who did I forget?
Should I just say the remaining players?
There's Laporta, Cook, Kelsey.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, it's a keeper technically.
Yeah, it's exactly rock with keepers you can trade it.
So Laporta, Cook, Kelsey, or Hurts. Laporta. I'll take Hurts.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah.
I would have probably taken him next. I am going to take James Cook.
Laporta, baby. That's how you round it out. So Kelsey. So B-Dub.
Those are some bottom barrel keepers, apparently.
If it's Kamara, that's not any better.
2 of the last 3 picks. I mean, maybe you could go Kamara and Rice.
Didn't this guy
Kamara and Rice does sound better. Just 2 names side by side.
Hollywood's there. The draft's coming up. They could be
like Hollywood's there. We're talking about Kelsey already.
Yeah. And if they get another receiver in the first or second round, then it could be like that year when they had Juju, or we're just like, or even last year, just a bunch of guys could pop. He had Evans and he had DJ Moore in that trade too. Jason, which both would have been.
So Jason could still. Well, he's probably not going to keep DJ Moore now that Keenan Allen's there.
No, but unless he thinks Caleb Williams is Pat Mahomes, and next thing you know,
maybe. But he could keep Mike Evans. He could keep Mike Evans over Laporta.
But I was at Jabland and we watched YouTube after a couple whiskeys, and the kitty was meowing
for Laporta. Yeah, he was pretty sick.
Yeah. He's surprised.
So that is the Rad League draft. Should we run through our 2 teams?
Yeah, let's hear it.
You start. You had first overall pick, the CMC team.
I didn't take track. You have it written down.
You didn't write down your own team?
No, I saw you doing it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like I was writing down me. Okay. I've got your team. You are CMC, Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, Garrett Wilson, Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne, Jalen Hurts, Sam Laporta.
One.
My team. What do you say?
Like, that's a good squad. No shit.
My team, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, Devon Achane, James Cook, Travis Kelce.
There we go. Yeah. So based on that, in the best
I did draft my team in groupings. I went, a group of 2 receivers, 3 running backs, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and then one of the tight ends.
So your interpretation, looking at that, who's in like the elite keeper team tier? FIO's back up there.
I mean, if I were to just, I thought you meant like between these players drafted. Like literally, I would.
Like, whose team is best? Who made it out the best with our draft in terms of like 2 guys in the top 8 or whatever it is? Is FIO?
I see what you mean. FIO has Barkley and Chase. Yeah, I did not make it up there. Inferno shockingly didn't like. Frown was way down there. I guess Zach has Jefferson and Breece, both in the top 10, but Mike's guys are a little higher. Gibbs and Tyreek are also.
Yeah.
We had Chase 1 spot before Tyreek, and then Gibbs 1 spot before Barkley. So technically they tied there. So those would be the 2 best keeper teams, would be FIO and Jab.
Good rivalry right there.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we still got 6 months to go.
6 months to
go. Jason, if you're out there, no risk in my trade. No risk at all.
Current Rad League trade block consists of if you TSN Trade Center, they've got Josh Jacobs, they've got Tinker Soldier's first round pick, would be second on the trade block. I would say Andy's Love Life first round pick is third on the trade block. Any other players you think that could be moved?
Brown and Hurts would be on the like. You never know with Inferno. Those are just assets.
I don't think so. I think he's kind of locked in Frown and Hurts. Like, I don't think you are going to get away from the stack. Like, that's already such a core piece tied to your keepers.
I don't see any trade unless Jab wants to sell. He won't sell Tyreek. No, why would you do that?
No, he wouldn't. Tyreek would probably be in the untouchable tier along with like CMC, CD, and Chase. Like those are probably, yeah.
That just sounds like we're both in on Josh Jacobs, and we're just gonna see what happens.
Yeah, everyone else I'd say is pretty set, except maybe Dame with his players. Like, just trade them both for like a second, just start over, or maybe package them together and try to get a first. I don't even know if you could do that.
If I'm Damian and these are my keepers, it could just be worth getting some picks.
Starting over, yeah. Like, he's not a Bills guy.
Not be like,
I'm not a Bills guy. I don't want James Cook. It was good last year. Just like, I don't want to be rooting for it. Yeah, but he loves Kelsey. He's not going to trade Kelsey. He's not going to He's not going to
trap Kelsey so easily.
Yeah, but he also knows no one's going to pay second round pick, probably.
But James is a running back who is known for not scoring many touchdowns on the Bills. It's like the anti-Dame. It's weird.
Yeah. Maybe he just keeps Kamara again. Like, I kind of forget, but like, I'm pretty sure Kamara was good when he played last year, like second half of the year. I don't think. Do the Saints still have Derek Carr at QB?
They haven't done like anything. They have no cap. They're just running it back. Dennis Allen, Derek.
Do they have a pick? They didn't make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs, so shouldn't they be picking high?
They picked like, I don't know, probably 13 or something like that. I guess.
Yeah. Okay, well, we are going to get our keeper mock draft teams here up on Twitter once this video is up as well, and we're going to let y'all vote on a poll what keeper mock draft team you like better. We've got the draft lottery coming up in about a month or a month and a half.
Month and a half, April 25th or 24th.
March is kind of sneaking by. We're already at the 15th of March. Like
5th.
15 more days.
6 weeks. 6 weeks away.
6 weeks we have the NFL draft. We'll see what our keepers teams do. We'll see where this wide receiver class goes.
They're so bad, dude.
People are going to want them. People are going to want them in the draft.
They're terrible.
People might want an additional first and second round pick in the draft to potentially look at some of these wide receivers that are coming in. Especially if one we got homegrown ain't doing too good.
Listen, I'm not trading JT because to get in today's league a stud running back like that, these receivers are getting churned out of school because all these high schoolers are becoming receivers, and every year it's going to be just more fucked up guys coming in.
Yeah, but I think I've come around now in that it's more valuable to have a top 3-4 wide receiver keeper than it is running back, because running back, they just get hurt, man. You got to be pivoting. You got to be ready to go each year. It's a drastic change. Like, your receiver, if you can get one of these top receivers to keep for a couple of years, like, I think it's a much bigger cornerstone for your organization as a keeper than one of these running backs, because much as they can dominate, but
we're not at a point where there's going to be 10 fucked up wide receivers versus 3 or 4.
Well, you would think we would already have hit that. We've already had the last X amount of NFL drafts come through, and there's how many elite receivers in the first round. Like, that has already been happening. So there's a lot more wide receiver 2s and 3s, guys that are in like that 10 to 20 grouping range that, could be keepers because they're young and they're super good, super talented, but they're not. You can tell which ones aren't going to break through into that top 5 tier. So I think that's where it's easier to get a low end wide receiver keeper that is a very, very good player. I think it's easier to do that, but harder to get the top end guy. And for running back, I don't think you're as worse off if you don't have a top 2 running back, because you just need some starters for that year.
There's no right way to do it anymore.
We'll see. Yeah, I guess not.
Because you could just draft running backs, next thing you know, you're 5-1, and then your team starts crumbling. You pick up some pieces late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. George Pickens can put up fucking 38 points in a playoff week, so you just got to stay in it. Keep managing. I'm not trading these late picks anymore because Nico Collins, Kyron Williams, Sam Laporta, pre-draft, all these numbies seem so tempting.
So to be clear, you don't want additional picks to get these guys?
I'm not trading JT or Garrett Wilson. Point blank. Say that publicly on this podcast. If I'm making a trade, it's for Josh Jacobs, and I'm trading. I'm an open book. That is it. And then once the lotto goes around the summer, maybe we do some mock drafts. Maybe there's some little pick refinements to make, but JT Garrett are going to be playing football for Tank in September. Josh Jacobs, I'm texting Jason. I'm letting him breathe for a little bit. Told him we'll wait till the lotto, but maybe I'll get horny one night, have a couple Coors Lights, and something else.
What if you get pick 101?
TBD. It's a new tank.
No, I mean, are you trading that for Jacobs?
TBD.
Like right now, if you went to Jason and you were like, and you're saying, yo, first rounder right now, pre-lotto, you'd probably be in for that.
Oh yeah, that's been offered.
Yeah. So post lotto, you're not 101. You have pick 103. You have pick 103. You're still doing it?
Oh yeah, there's clauses that he doesn't care about.
You're even putting in lotto clauses? Like if pick turns out to be, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that.
No, so it's kind of going, but that's it. I just want to say JT and Garrett are coming back. All these jokes that I'm going to trade them, I'm not. These guys bring me joy. We're going to get a regular draft where I'm not gapping from fucking 7 to 9, and I'm like, my flex is MVS, and I don't have a chance to take a Kyron or Nico.
All right.
Each round matters. Anyways.
We'll see how this goes. We will likely check in following the NFL draft and the Rad League draft lottery.
There you go.
So we will resume talks then.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. See ya.
Yeah.